Hello, Julie here, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, thank you for joining us. Now I'm going to do the first 4 prompts in the Junk Journal January 2025. Now, as I said previously in the video that showed how I created this journal, the tab bound journal to use, I won't be doing it every day, but I will try and do every prompt. So today's the 4th, so I'll do the first 4 prompts. So that's cover, envelope, tickets and outline. So I thought the first thing I will do is I will actually create an envelope. So I've got a piece of digital here, and I'm going to make my envelope. It's A4, so it's 8 1/4 inches deep. So I've cut it to 8 1/4 inches wide. And here, let me have a look, it's really hard to read this. 8 1/4. To make a 4x6 envelope, I need to score at 3 3/8. So that is what I will do. It comes, this punch board comes with a scoring tool. So we go to 3 3/8, which is there. Push down on that and then score down. There's a groove under there. Doesn't want to come out, I didn't punch it properly. Get that out of there, otherwise it's not going to work, is it? I need my tweezers. There we go. Yeah, so this is the score line that you score down. Seems to have a bit of a bow in it, it's a bit wobbly. Anyway, so once we've done that, we've punched that and scored down there, we turn it round and so that the score line lines up with this pointy piece there. So once we've done the first measurement, we don't need to do any more. So punch down and score. Same thing again, line the score line up with that pointy piece, punch down and score, and then once again line that up, punch down and score. Okay, now on the back there's a corner rounder, so we can round the corners of our envelope. Just makes it a little bit neater. You don't have to do this, you can leave your corners or your edges pointy, it's no problem at all. And there we go. Get rid of that and get rid of that. And now we just need to fold these over. Fold up, fold down. Let's just burnish those. Now, I know it says that today one of the prompts is cover, but I'm not, I mean, you can interpret that any way you like. A lot of people would say, okay, I'll decorate the cover, but I'm not going to decorate my cover today. I'm going to do cover in a different way. So let's finish this first. So I'm going to ink around the edges and then we can stick it down. You can stitch around your envelopes if you want to. I normally do, but I'm not going to today. Simple reason, I've put my sewing machine away for over the Christmas break while we had visitors, and I just haven't got it out again yet, so I won't be stitching today, but normally I would stitch most things I make. Actually, I'm not that keen on the way that's punched out. That was that one that got stuck, so just neaten that up a little. And I will also ink around the edges. Yeah, so yeah, I keep my sewing machine on the dining room table. So of course I had to clear that away while we had people here for Christmas lunch, etc. Okay, so now with this piece here, it's up to you what you want to do. You can leave it like that, or what I tend to do is just run my ruler between that point there and that point there and crease this. I'm just using my fingernail. You can use your bone folder. And then fold that back that way. Score that and just stick that down. Like so. Just a little bit of extra reinforcing and just neatens it up, I think. But if you like that piece poking up, well then that's completely up to you. Now I'm going to run some glue along here. Along here. Oops. And up here. And along here. So before I stick that down, I'm going to wipe any glue off that may have got in there. And then stick this down. Okay, so that's our envelope made. If you haven't got a punch board, well then there's lots of other ways you can make envelopes. There are numerous tutorials on YouTube on how to do that, so check that out if you haven't got a punch board. But generally you fold your square corner to corner, make a little mark, fold it that way corner to corner, make a little mark, and then fold your corners in to that centre area. So now what I'm going to do with my envelope is I'm going to create the cover part of the prompts. So I'm going to cover this page with my envelope, and to do that I'm going to just use it like that as a flip out, so it's covering the bulk of that page. On the back here, I'm not going to leave that whole thing like that. I'm going to cut that down to about there. So let me just get my trimmer. Here we go. And let's just make that, oh, how big? Say an 1.25 inches I think should be enough. So I'm just going to cut that at 1.25 inches and ink that up. So that will make a little tuck spot on the next page over. Now, you don't have to start at the front of your book. You can start anywhere you like. So, you know, we could put it there. We could put it here. I might put it here. Okay, so that's what I will do. So to attach this, I'm just going to glue here and probably along there. So glue along the edge. You could just glue the straight part and not worry about gluing, this section here. And I want to just make sure I've got that in the right spot so that I know exactly how much glue to apply here. You don't necessarily have to glue this side, but I do prefer to. I'm just going to take my ruler and run that along there to try and make sure that any glue that was oozing out there doesn't actually stick. Okay, so there we have our envelope, and it is a pocket. Now I probably should have covered that with some pattern paper or something, or inked in there or something, but I forgot to do that. So if you are thinking of doing this and that white bothers you, well then you need to ink it or cover it with some pattern paper. I might cover it with some paper later on. So I could just cut, well, why don't I do it now? So I'm going to cut a piece of paper that is as wide as my envelope. I'll probably need to, you know, finesse this a little bit with the sizing. I'm going to mark it there and there, and get my trimmer out and trim this down. So it only has to be wide enough to cover this gap here. Might make it a little, let's make it 2 inches just to be on the safe side. And here for our depth, now let's see if that's going to fit okay before I put my trimmer away. So that can sit in there like that. Now we don't want to come over the fold because that will impede us being able to close our envelope. So we have to leave that. So perhaps I might try and ink that little creased bit. Let's fold that back that way and ink along there. It would of course be much easier if you did this before the envelope was closed. Okay. Right, so while I've got this here, I'll ink the edge of this. I'm just going to ink 3 edges because you won't see the edge that's down inside there. Now this is going to slip into there. I think I might use my glue stick for the middle of it and then just run the art glitter glue around the edge, and I'm doing that in the hope that it will slide in easier. The less art glitter glue to grab as I'm sliding it in, the better. Okay, now that still folds over nicely, so we've managed to get that in the right spot. Right, so that is cover and envelope. So our envelope is covering our page. Now the next one is tickets and outline. So I thought that what I would do, I've used up my, I'll use this now. I'm going to add a pocket to this page as well. So let's trim this down. How wide is my page? 5 7/8 basically. 5 7/8. So I'm going to make a gusseted pocket. So I'll make it 6 7/8. And how deep do I want it, do I think? I think 3.5 inches, so I'll make it 4 inches. So I'm going to make 4 inches by 6 7/8. Okay, now I need my scoreboard. Okay, and I'm going to score at 1/2 inch on both sides. So I'm just going to shuffle that over there so I can get 1/2 inch there, 1/2 inch there. Turn it so I've got the bottom and score along the bottom at 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to just take those corners out. I'm going to, on the top edge here, I'm just going to slant that edge back a little, and I'm going to take these corners out. And I'll make a divot in that. Got my 2-inch hole punch here. I'm just going to guess at about the centre. And now, fold those back, ink around that. Now, I am using fairly neutral papers throughout this journal. I'm going to keep this journal as, you know, an ideas or reference book, so that I can remember to use some of the things that I always forget to do, either the technique or the product. I don't know about you, but I've got drawers full of everything and never remember to use it. Okay, so let's have a look at this. So bring my little book back in, and we're going to put this on here. Oh, it's a little bit too big. It is a little bit too big. So I'm going to have to rescore one of those edges. Only by about 1/8 of an inch, so let's flatten that out. And move over. Okay. Okay, now this is tricky. I'm going to use my ruler to line up along that score and fold it up that way. That's probably about the best way to do it. And let me check the size. Yes, that will be fine. So now I need to just retrim that corner. There we go. And re-ink that edge. So there's generally a way around everything with junk journaling, and if something doesn't quite fit or you cut it in the wrong place, you can generally save it, unless it's pretty catastrophic. Then you might be a bit hard pressed. Okay, so I'm going to position that on there like so, and I'm just going to use my art glitter glue to do that, which has been sitting for so long that the nozzle has closed up. It's quite a warm day here today. mean, I don't think it's even in the 30s, but well, it's actually quite a lovely day. My husband and I went down the beach earlier on and had a drink. That was very pleasant. Lots of people around, of course, because it is, after all, summer holidays here in Australia. So all the kids are on holidays, and most workers are, well, a lot of workers are still on leave from Christmas, New Year break. So let's position that where we want it and burnish that down. Now, because we've got a gusseted pocket, we can fit, you know, plenty of things in there. We have another pocket here. So that's that. What was that about? Now, tickets. Tickets is the next one to do. So the pocket there, I'm going to make a tag. I don't know where I've left my... There we go. I can make a tag to go in that, or a journaling card. See, that would make quite a nice journaling card, wouldn't it? It's too high, but I might just cut that down there and cut some off the bottom, and we'll turn that into a journaling card. I'll have to put some coffee dyed paper on the back, but that's not a problem. Now let's take, I might take, say, 1.5 inches off. It's not quite straight there, so let's get that fixed. That's better. Okay, so I'm just like everybody else, I need a bigger desk. Okay, so I might back that with coffee dyed paper first. This is actually tea dyed paper. I dyed this paper using some red tea bags, hoping to get pink paper, but no, I didn't. I got this colour, which is a weird colour for a pink tea bag, sort of a browny greeny colour. Okay. Now, one of the prompts was outline, so I couldn't really think of too much for outline. I'll be interested to see how others interpret that prompt. So what I thought I might do is put an outline around my journaling card. We should have left the corners for a bit longer. Yeah, so I thought I might put an outline around the edge of my journaling card. So, and to do that, I'm going to use some strips of paper. So let's cut some 1/2 inch strips. You could also, if you're thinking about doing this same technique, you could also make your strips a bit wider and punch the edges, just for a bit of decoration on the inside of your outline. I'm going to ink the edges of these. I am very sorry, but my camera stopped recording. It records for 29 minutes, and then it cuts out without letting me know. I need to set a timer, and I never remember to do that. So I have already done my outline around my journaling card. So you saw me cut out the strips. All I did was ink the inside edges and stick them down. I used my art glitter glue to do that, and I just made sure that I had lined them up as well as I could along the edges. And then I just used my scissors to cut around the corners where the fussy cutting, where the corners had been rounded. Then I inked both sides. So that gives me my outline for my journaling card. So sorry that didn't work, but it's done. Now if you wanted to, you could also use a pen and just sort of doodle around the outside of your journaling card on either or both sides. I might do that anyway. And yeah, well, why don't I do that now? Let's see if I can find a pen. So just nothing fantastic, just a bit of a scribbly line. Okay, so, or we could even run around the inside of here, but knowing me, I would end up with ink everywhere, black pen everywhere. So there we go with that. Now the next prompt is tickets, and I have some dies here. So I have this one from Dynamic, which is that ticket. I have this one from Papercraft, which is that, comes from there. Now this is not really a ticket, it's more of a label, but it's got the ticket shape, it just hasn't got the picket edge along the edge of the thing there, but I could always cut that with my pinking shears and get the picket edge. And this is like 2.5 tickets all joined together, and that's got the you know, the perforations to fold. So I couldn't make up my mind which ones I wanted to use, so I'm going to go to my die cutting machine and cut them all out. Now if you haven't got a die, you can still make a ticket. So you just cut your paper to the size you want, and then use your hole punch to punch the corners out. So you're only cutting like 1/4 of a circle off the corners, and then use your pinking shears to go along the edges there, and that makes a good ticket as well. And with you using that, you can get a ticket to any size that you want, so that's pretty helpful to know. So I'm going to go and die cut these in some pattern paper. Everything in here is fairly neutral, and I'm just going to use colour to embellish bits and pieces in here. So I'm going to go and cut these, and once I've done that, I will be back. Okay, so I've gathered up some things that I might use to decorate, and I have fussy cut some flowers, and I have also die cut those tickets that I showed you before. I have inked around the edges of all of them, so they're all ready to go. I've got some little fabric, I don't know what you call motifs. This was a oh god, I've lost all my words. This was a doily that I've cut up into separate areas. I've got some lace here. I've got some printed vellum, and I've got a coffee dyed paper doily. I've got some seam binding that I've coffee dyed. I have cut out a heap of these little, well, they're imitation bulldog clips or paper clips, whatever you like to call them, and that's from this die here. I have also made a journaling card to go into my envelope, so that goes in there like that. So we've got a journal card in there, a journal card in here. Our journal card here has got the frame around it. This one here has got the same paper on the back and the front, so you can easily write on that. And actually I might just put a outline around this as well so that they blend in together. Okay, right, so now it's time to do some decorating. So we need to decorate this, this, this and this. So we've got a fair bit to cover. Now, do I want to use some paper doily? I use some, I'm thinking that I'll use the paper doily where I don't want a lot of bulk, because this has got to close over on top of that. So if I put something more bulky like this in there, it's not going to close properly. So I'm thinking I might just put some paper doily here, and maybe I've got some cheesecloth here too, which is fairly thin. So perhaps a bit of that. Let's cut some. And put that behind that maybe. I don't want too much of this, so I'm just going to tear off like so. Maybe something like that. And then perhaps one of our flowers on there. Something nice and bright, colourful. And do we want to put a ticket in there as well? Let's have a look. Where's one of those smaller tickets? There we go. Maybe something like that. I've done all the inking, so all I need to do is stick it down. I want to have that paper doily between those two to break them up a little. Okay, let's stick that down. I will speed up a lot of these mundane pieces because the video is very long as it is, and if I don't, it'll be even longer. Right, now our journaling card. So this is the one we put the outline around the back, and we could use one of these on the top of this, couldn't we? So let's find a floral one and attach that on there. Yes, I like that idea. Okay, once again I'll just press that down with some tissue paper to get all that glue off. Now I've only cut that out of paper, so I'm not that keen on doing anything else on that, but if I had have cut it out of a thicker cardstock, I could have hung a dangle off of that. Okay, so what are we going to do on this one? It's got to go into the pocket, but we have made a gust-through pocket, so it does give us a bit of breathing space. I like the plainer tickets there, but I haven't really got a plainer ticket. Let's have a look at this one. Oh yes, I could use that. That would work. Okay, so how many of you are joining in with the Junk Journal January? This is the first time I'm doing it, so be interesting to see just how far I get. I've never actually worked with prompts before either, so they can be a bit daunting. So that hangs over a little bit there and a little bit there, but that's fine, I'm not too worried about that. Actually, let me just get some labels. Okay, I've got a collection of labels here, all sorts, so I'll just put them to the side and try and not lose them in this big mess. But I would like a label on that. Alright, let's go with this one. Have to ink that. Okay, so that can go in there. I want a label down on this. Let me think. Just have a little one on that one. That one would be alright. I could put some little brads in there. Does it get lost? Okay, let's see if I've got some small brads in here. I only want the tiny ones. There we go. There's one. And there's one. That one. Well, I've got white ones there. I've got black, white. Looks like I've only got one of those bronzy coloured ones. No, I've got a whole heap of them here. So perhaps this colour. I think that's what I'll go for. Instead of splitting those pins, I'm going to fold them both over to the same side. I might put a little bit of glue under there to try and hold it. Now, I was thinking I should probably stamp something on that, shouldn't I? I'll get a stamp. Okay, I've got this little stamp and I've got some black ink, so I will stamp one of these onto that. What shall I put? There's a number up there, so I will put perhaps registered. Try that one. All you have to do is find out how to open it. There we go. Okay. May well not work all that well with that. I should have stamped it before I put the brads in, of course. But let's see how we go. Registered. Fair enough. I'm happy with that. Right. Okay, so now I can just glue that onto there. And it gives us a little bit of a metal embellishment as well. Right. Now, you know what? I'm going to stop the camera and clean up a bit because I can't see what I've got and where I'm going with all this stuff here. I've only got this to do and this to do, I think, but anyway, let me clean up a bit and then I'll be back. Okay, so I've tidied up a bit and I've got a few extra things out. I've got this pink, well, it's sort of like vellum, but it's not really vellum. It's textured. I don't know if you can see it or not, but that's actually resin. And I thought I might try some of this on here. I don't even know if it tears, so let's see. Not really, I have to cut it. So, let's cut strip. I think I'll put a strip of it on. So it's, yeah, unusual stuff. It's not straight. Does that matter? Probably not. Okay, so perhaps we can put some of that there. And I think I might put some cheesecloth with that. So let's fray that out a bit. So we can pop that there. That there, that there. And then one of our flowers on there like so. Like that. So that's what I'll do on that one. So these flowers were fussy cut from a digital kit that I'm working on at the moment. Hasn't been released. Hopefully it will be within the next few weeks. Okay, so that's that. Now this journaling card has got to go in that way. So I've got this piece of tulle and I thought I might use this as a tab because it's very soft, but it's too white. So what I'm going to do is get a bit of scrap paper and ink it and see if I can just tone it down a little. I'll do both sides because you don't know what you're going to be able to see and what you're not going to be able to see, so better to be safe than sorry. That coloured up okay, and I am going to put that on here, just there like so, as a tab to make it easier to pull it out of the envelope, but this is going to be soft enough to fold over when it's in the pocket and the envelope's closed over. So I'm going to decorate the front of this just a little bit, not too much because it has to fit into that envelope. So what should we put on that? Something fairly flat. I don't know that I actually want any fabric on it. Could run that down there. And I've got these rub-ons here that I've had for quite some time that I should use. And there's butterflies, leaves, flowers, bits of background, some more labels, some washi tape, just fillers, that's the background. Oh, I've got two backgrounds in there. Okay, so I was thinking that I might add a butterfly on here. So maybe just something like that that's pretty flat. If I turn that around that way and put my butterfly up here. What does the pink butterfly look like with it though? Let's have a look. So I'm just going to cut that out of the sheet. looks alright, doesn't it? Just for something on there, because I don't, as I said, I don't want texture. So I could put a bit of this as well. So let's cut that. What do you think? Does that doily just get lost in there? Just adding extra unnecessary bulk? Does look nice, but oh yes, why not? We've got another set of tickets on here, so that's 2 tickets. I'm just using my normal bone folder to do this. They do give, oh there it is there, they do give you a stick to do it with, but I've found that your bone folder works just as well as any of those. Okay, so there we go. Got a little bit of embellishment on our journaling card. So let's have a look at what we've got. So our journaling card fits into our envelope. This is soft enough that when it shuts, it's not going to be a problem. So we've got, where's our prompts? So cover. Our envelope fold over flip thing is covering most of our page. So that's cover. Envelope itself is this. Tickets, we've got tickets here, and tickets not there. I think we've got tickets on here. Outline, we've outlined our cards with both pen, and on this one we've outlined it with paper. So there we go, we've got a pocket, we've got a journaling card, we've got decorations there, we've got another pocket here with another journaling card, and we've got an envelope. Oh, we have also got another pocket. Oh, we've got that decoration there as well, but we have another pocket on the back here, and we'll make something to go into that when we do this pocket. You can see that's a pocket there. Okay, so that's my video for today. I hope you've enjoyed it, and yeah, pop over to well, you can get the prompts. You could take a screenshot of this if you wanted to, and play along. Why not? Let me give that tickets a tick, if I can find a pencil, which probably can't amongst all this stuff, even though I've tidied up a couple of times. I don't know. Right, so tickets. So that's the first 4 done. Okay, so I'll leave you now, and I hope you can join me when I post my next video. Okay, bye.